Welcome back to the Hoppy Homestead, everybody. So today we're going to be giving you 5 tips on ducks. This is an interesting topic right here.
We have today is Genesis chapter 28 verse 15. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you.
Welcome back, y'all. So we are going to be giving you our 5 tips on ducks. Just like we gave you our 5 tips on chickens, this is going to be from the time that we got them to where we are now. It'll be about 8 or 9 weeks old, roughly, right around there. We've had some stuff to work through. We've got 5 tips for you. We're going to give you some bonuses at the end from our experiences. Alright, let's dive into it. Tip number 1.
Make sure that they have plenty of room to grow in the container before going outside, especially with multiple ducks, because they get big quickly and you don't want them to be squished together. Because if you have, let's say, 4 and you get just like a little itty bitty box, it's gonna like really cause some tension between them, and that's gonna come back later on.
So that's one of the problems that we had. They got really big really quick, and when they don't have a lot of room, they'll pick on the smallest one or the weak one, and they'll make that one feel
left out.
Yeah, left out.
Bullied.
And they'll peck at them, they'll try to pull its feathers out, and it can really cause some problems when they're older, which we're experiencing right now with Mushu, like we mentioned in one of our previous videos. So make sure they have enough room, food, water, and heat. Same thing with chickens, they need heat, food, and water. So make sure that you guys put them in a brooder box. That's our biggest recommendation for birds, is put them in a brooder box out of the house.
Like an umbrella tip, just brooder box.
Brooder box. We will be making one if we have any chickens. On to tip number 2. Never just get one bird. It's always recommended that you get 2 or more. So ducks like camaraderie, and one of my coworkers suggested that we get more than one if we decided to get ducks, because they can get depressed and then they won't lay and they'll be upset a lot. So it all depends on your situation, but get 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna be getting more next year, but right now we've got 4 because we didn't want them to get lonely. And then we got the 2 and they're like, oh, well, we can't have them be lonely, so then we got 4. And that's kind of how that worked out.
Well, yeah, and if you have just one bird, they're going to cry all night. We actually had that happen with one of our chickens. We have a silver-laced Polish hen, and he was a little smaller than all the other ones, so we actually kept him separate, and he screamed all night. And same thing with ducks. We had one duck separated from everyone else, and they can't really scream, but you can tell the difference like between their normal quack and when they're whining, essentially.
They were distressed.
Yeah, so you definitely don't want to have any birds just by themselves, because it will stress them out, and then at that point they can also peck out their own feathers from being stressed.
Yep. Alright, on to tip number 3.
Handle them when they are babies, that way they're used to you when they are older. So if you don't handle them, they're not going to want to be by you when they're free ranging. They're kind of going to be more afraid of you, so they're kind of, when you're trying to get them back into the run, if you decide to free range, which, I mean, it is good for them, and it will make them very happy.
But it's based on your situation.
Right, if you live in like the city, probably not a good recommendation to have them free range. Whereas we live in the country, they have a lot of land to be able to do this, it's good for them, for us, and for us, because they eat all of our ticks. But that way you are able to hold them when they're older, and they're not going to freak out and try to peck at you.
We kind of had problems with some of them because from the get-go they didn't like being held, but I think we're going to try to get them mealworms, because apparently they really like them as treats, and so do chickens. So we're going to pick them up and we're going to have a little handful of mealworms and see if that works. We'll keep you guys updated on that one. Alright, Allie had to go feed Corey because he's being a little whiny right now. Alright, tip number 4. Lift their water bowls off the ground. Ducks, like chickens, are messy, but ducks are exponentially more messy. So if you don't lift their water bowls off the ground, they're going to try to swim in them, or they'll just throw stuff in them. They don't care. So, highly recommend have it off the ground. When you first get them, push their beaks into it. They'll learn where their water is right away. Same with their food. It's really easy, really quick. But yeah, just make sure you lift it off the ground, because otherwise there's issues later and you'll have to clean it even more than you're going to have to clean it. And again, recommend a brooder box. Put a hook on the top if it's not too tall and hang it from there. They come with some little eye hooks that you can hang it on, so highly recommend it. Alright, tip number 5. Get a kiddie pool for them to play in. Don't use a bathtub. While it's funny when they're younger to watch them in the bathtub, they poop and pee a lot in there, and it's probably not the greatest for the septic system, because I don't know anyone that's pooping and peeing in the tub. That's what the toilet's for. So, make sure that you have a kiddie pool. It's like, for a 36-inch one, it's like $15-20 at our Ace Hardware up here in central Wisconsin. So it's not terrible and it's fairly cheap, so highly recommend getting that. Alright, some little bonus tips that we have for you. Make sure that you give them little treats. Ducks love leafy greens. Absolutely love it. They go crazy for it. So we'll go out to the chicken coop every now and then, or if they're free ranging, we'll go out there and we'll toss them some heads of lettuce. We'll tear it up for them and sprinkle it around. The chickens love it too. They also love watermelon. Absolutely, they'll eat the entire thing. Chickens and ducks, they'll eat the entire thing. They love it. Absolutely love it. And that's all our tips today. This isn't all-encompassing. This is just what we've learned. If you guys have any comments or your own tips that you guys like to tell us, put them in the comments below. Make sure to smash that subscribe. Visit our Patreon at www.patreon.com/hoppyhomestead. It'll be in the link description. And hope you guys have a fantastic, wonderful day, night, evening, week, whatever it is. Happy 4th.